Hello friends, this is Grapha. Welcome back to another Dislyte video. And today we have the test server. So I already have access to the test server and I have the new Espers and we're gonna check them out. This is just gonna be my preliminary thoughts on them. I'm gonna remove my glasses and I'll just showcase the Espers for this video. I'll go into like some other changes later on in a different video. For today, we're just gonna be talking about the Espers. So let's just get into it. Now, when it comes to Ethan, I already have him maxed out and I've tested him a little bit and I'm kind of disappointed. Maybe it's just me, but this is like not as insane as I thought it would be. So his enchanted song, which is pretty insane, his magic tune, it gives everyone crit rate up and crit damage up plus 20%, which is like okay. And then, you know, crit reduces the chance of taking critical hits. So crit rate reduction by 30% and then the speed plus 20. So he is really good, but I just don't know where to use him. Like, okay, 4-turn cooldown for this skill, really nice. Magic tune and immunity for 2 turns, and then whenever someone receives AP boost on the enemy team, Ethan will gain 50% of that boost effect. Triggers only once per turn, so if like a Dahlia boosts everyone on the enemy team by like 30%, he will gain a 15% AP boost, which is really nice. Yeah. Going into S2, his S2 is pretty nice. So attacks enemy 3 times, all enemies 3 times by the way. The damage is like, okay, meh. And then 60% chance at full skill up. By the way, you will want to fully skill him up. And 60% chance for 3 hits defense down. That's pretty consistent. I think that's pretty nice. And then inflicts panic gaze for 2 turns. So the panic gaze will afflict everyone on the team. Obviously this applies with normal misrate immunity rule shenanigans. And so basically, what'll happen is, this is pretty confusing, but when the carrier casts a basic ability, remove magic tune from the target and deals true damage to the carrier. So if they use a basic ability, they will remove magic tune from, let's say Ethan for example. If they attack Ethan, they will remove magic tune from Ethan, but the carrier will take 20% of their max HP damage. So that's 1/5 of their damage, right? And that still doesn't remove the panic gaze. So they will have panic gaze for 2 turns. They will need to use this. They will need to basic attack twice, maybe, and then they will take 40% off of their max HP over 2 turns, which is pretty insane. Now, if the carrier casts a non-basic ability, so they use a skill like their S2 or their S3, panic gaze will be removed from all allies. So all allies will remove panic gaze, and then all their ability cooldowns will be +1. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? You will either, for 2 turns, have everyone on your team use their basic ability and take tons and tons of damage, or you can use your skills and then everyone on the enemy team will have their skill raised by +1. So it's kind of like you have to choose a trade-off, right? This is pretty interesting because it's like, whoever triggers the removal of the panic gaze will trigger for everyone. So maybe like if your whole team has panic gaze, you'll want to use the basic ability first and then take the damage, and then for the next Esper you'll want to use like an ability that way that might be more valuable to you, and then everyone will lose the panic gaze. So it's kind of interesting that there's this dynamic. I don't know how good this would be, especially because this doesn't really work on I mean, it does apply to bosses, but like, how will bosses be affected by this panic gaze? I'll have to test it out. So bosses might have their ability cooldowns +1, which is gonna be pretty interesting, not gonna lie. And then for his S1, it's not that good. It has lots of conditions. If it has panic gaze, inflict stun. If Ethan has magic tune, the AP reduction and the stun can't be resisted. It'll work. So yeah, he seems pretty good. His kit definitely has a lot of like stuff in it. I'm just not really sure, like, you know, where you're gonna use him optimally. So that's the first look. He's pretty slow though, 102 +7. And he has a resist at phase 6, +7 speed, +10 speed, and you know, just the usual. So I don't like his resonances. He gets +20% in resist, which is kind of funny. Anyway, moving on to Jinhee. Now, Jinhee, I think, is actually really broken. And I think that she's honestly the most broken Esper out of the 3 to come up, in my opinion. My opinion. All my opinion, early on testing. So her Cyclone Screw. This is a really, really, really powerful ability, right? Like, bonkers, broken. My god. Okay, so this one random attribute related buff, it's completely random. So you don't know if you're gonna get attack up, you don't know if you're gonna get speed up or crit rate up or defense up. But everyone on your team, when this ability is used, will get the same buff. So if she triggers like for speed up, everyone will get speed up. It's not like speed up here, crit up here, attack up here. It's not like that. And this skill is on a 3-turn cooldown. So I mean a 3-turn. The buff is for 3 turns, which is really, really long. So even though it's random, it's still a free buff, right? And honestly, even without the buff portion, the skill is still really good because it does a ton of damage and it inflicts Dizzy Daze for 2 turns. Now, Dizzy Daze is like a stun. It grants incapacitated, and okay, ignore this part because this is kind of like weirdly worded when taking hit grants blah blah blah. But basically, whenever someone has Dizzy Daze and your team attacks into the Dizzy Daze, Jinhee, will receive plus 10% AP. Now this doesn't work for multi-hits, so you can't like multi-hit and then she'll gain like 30 AP% or something like that. But like one hit, 10%. One hit plus 10%. So Jinhee gets her turns a lot, right? And the thing about the Dizzy Daze is that this is a Silver Rim debuff. And because it's a Silver Rim debuff, it can't be resisted, like it can be immunity, right? But you won't miss, basically. So because you won't miss and this can't be resisted, barring immunity, this is a guaranteed 2-turn stun on anyone, literally anyone. So this is really, really powerful because 2-turn stun is really, really, really strong. And then this can't be resisted. Again, barring immunity. So it's like, and it's on a 4-turn cooldown. This is really, really nice because like you can basically perma stun lock someone. And yeah, so when it comes to her S2, it does a ton of damage, but then 70% chance of stealing a debuff, which is like, 80%, and all ability cooldowns of that enemy plus one turn. So she is really, really good at singling out an enemy and not making them do anything. And then if the enemy is afflicted with Dizzy Daze, absorbs all their AP. Now I'm not sure if this absorption can be resisted or missed because this is affected by the Dizzy Daze portion, so I'm not sure. But this Dizzy Daze cannot be resisted. I mean, cannot be missed, okay? So it's a guaranteed stun. This portion is still really, really good because plus 1 cooldown, steals a buff, and then absorbs all their AP. When I saw this, it just screamed JJ counter. Like literally, she breaks JJ by herself. Like she will Dizzy Daze JJ. JJ can't move. She will absorb all his AP, up his plus 1 cooldown, and then let's say that someone else killed him, right? She still has a chance to steal the buff and then kill him that way. So it's still pretty strong. And then yeah, 60% chance at full. 60% chance to stun, which is really nice. 60% chance to stun on an S1 is still pretty good. Like obviously it's not like 100%, but like holy cow, that's still 60%. That's really nice. And lastly, what we have is Koharu, if I can find her. Wherever she is, Koharu. So Koharu is pretty nice as well. Now the nice thing about Koharu is that all of her skills deal damage based on her max HP, which is not gonna be broken, but it's still gonna be really nice on Esper, right? And now she applies attack down, which can be increased by 70% chance, and grants Kagura Dance to everyone. And what Kagura Dance does is damage dealt plus 10 and healing received plus 10. I like this a lot because healing received is pretty nice, but damage dealt plus 10 is like a universal damage buff, right? Because for other Espers that scale off of defense or for HP, for example, you can't really buff them with like an attack buff, right? But like if you have like a mixed setup, this plus 10 damage dealt, it will affect everyone, right? So if you have like a Everett and a Gaius on your team, you can buff them both. Whereas before you would like, okay, you'd attack up and then that's kind of useless for one unit. It's just something nice to think about. It's on a 4-turn cooldown as well, which is really nice. For this skill, I don't have it maxed out, but inflicts diseased and sear. These aren't percentage chances, so this is really good, 100% chance to hit. And then if your ally, if only Koharu has Kagura Dance, it's in the resonance. Sorry, I don't have her max like Ascension. I mean Ascension, sorry, not resonance. If Koharu has Kagura Dance, heals the whole team for 8%, which is pretty nice. That's like an 8% heal on a support unit that's like, her main role is like this, the Kagura Dance basically. And then dispels 1 debuff attack damage, attacks one enemy, dispels 1 debuff on Koharu and gains recovery, which is pretty nice because yeah, she's like a pretty durable Esper in her own right. So yeah, and I didn't show this a while ago because the other lead buffs weren't really that useful because they're crit rate up. But increases attack for Story, Infinite Miracle, and Calamity Island, which are kind of a new set of speed leads. Character leads, captain abilities. I'm sorry, but yeah, pretty solid unit all around. I really like her. She's pretty good. Honestly, I think that the most broken character is freaking Jinhee. But Jinhee is obviously like a really powerful single target damage nuker, but like it's still a really powerful single target nuker, right? So yeah, I like it, and I don't have like the other Esper events. Like for example, the events like the Warm Spring and Novice Support. I can't check right now if you will get them, but what I will say is that in these events, there's a rewind event. I will confirm this with devs. But yeah, there's a rewind event, guys. So you know you have the resources to build these Espers, and I think that you will be able to get the new Espers with the Novice Support. I don't know if it'll apply to us novices. We're not novices, but yeah, it's still pretty nice. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are... I'm not recording. My bad, my intro got cut. My exit got cut. I thought I wasn't recording. I panicked there. I was recording. But anyway, that's it pretty much for this video. I hope that you guys like this. What do you guys think about the new Espers? Are they cool? Are they nice? They look awesome. Ethan, not really, my opinion. That's just me. But Jinhee, she looks really nice. I like her. Her animation's really cool though. And yeah, pretty good looking Esper. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. I will showcase Sentinel Hunt tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, bye. Ding.